I'm Billy Joe with Medical Service Company. I'm a respiratory therapist, and today I'm here to talk about the oxygen concentrator machine, some alarms, and how to attach humidity to it, and how to troubleshoot the machine just a little bit. So down here you can see, this is the concentrator machine here. This is the on and off button here. And right next to it is a little alarm button. This button does move. If you've had a power outage or a power surge, you'll see this button pop up. It's very obvious that it's popped out. You would want to unplug your machine, push the button back in, plug your machine in, and then turn your machine back on, and that will reset this alarm here. Then over here, you've got a little phone and a little red light that will appear next to it. If that stays on, you would want to call your company and tell them that that red light is on and it's alarming. But to troubleshoot that, you'd want to do the same thing. Turn your machine off, unplug it, plug the machine back in, turn the machine back on, and that should clear that red light. If it does not clear the red light, you would want to call Medical Service Company and let them know. Then moving on, a lot of times people have dry noses, so they could get a humidifier jar. This would be added on. It will give you moisture to your nose. You would get two pieces with the humidifier jar. You would get the jar and you would get this little tube. You have to have the little tube to connect the jar. If you do not have both pieces, you need to let Medical Service Company know because you're missing a part. So you can see you've got this end here that screws. It's going to go right on the top of the jar. You just want to take this and you want to screw it in there. And then once it's screwed all the way in, this end will actually attach right to your oxygen machine right above the dial. And then you can take this jar and you can set it right in there. And that's a nice little holder for it. Then on the end of your jar, you want to take your oxygen tubing and you will attach your oxygen tubing right to this little nipple that sticks out there. And that would be attached and all ready to go. But it's a humidifier jar, so you want to add water to it. You want to use distilled water only, and you would unscrew the jar, and you could take this bottom part off, and you've got this little straw sticking out of it. You don't want this touching anything or getting dirty. And then in here you've got your jar. You've got a minimum line and a maximum line. You want to fill the water in between those lines, remembering to use distilled water only. This humidifier jar should be washed weekly with soapy water. Just plain old dish soap. Wash it, rinse it out, and let it dry. And then you can replace it on your machine. You just screw it on. One problem that commonly happens is you screw this on, and you can see here how the lid's not on all the way. So just unscrew it and then re-screw the jar on to make sure it's connected all the way. Sometimes when you're using the humidifier jar, you will not feel any oxygen coming out. One way to check that is to actually disconnect the humidifier jar from the concentrator. Remove your oxygen tubing from the humidifier jar. And then you can connect your oxygen tubing directly to your machine. Now if you're getting oxygen, you know there's a problem with your humidifier jar. Another way to check if you're getting oxygen is to take the end of your cannula that actually goes in your nose, and you can put it in a little glass of water and it should bubble. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to call Medical Service Company or your respiratory therapist at 1-800-824-1400. Again, that number is 1-800-824-1400.